We are working on our Careers in Accounting series, and today what I wanted to talk to you is about valuation and litigation support. So valuation accounting is basically where you go in and value the assets of usually a business. So say a business is being purchased by another business, you would go in and say, well, we think their fixed assets are worth this, the cash is worth this, the cars are worth this, the building's worth this. But you would also be valuing the intellectual property. So you might go in and say, well, we think their customer list has this kind of a value and their patents have this kind of a value. So that would be one aspect of valuation accounting. Valuation accountants also get involved a lot in divorce cases. So if two spouses own a business together and then they're getting divorced, someone has to come in and say what's the value of that business, because it needs to be, at least here in California, split up equally. So definitely that. There's also litigation support, which may relate to the divorce cases, but it could also be other things. My cousin actually had a job. He was in Manhattan and he worked for a firm that did litigation support. So if, say it was a malpractice suit, he would run the numbers and come up with a financial model to say what were the damages in that suit. Or if it was, product liability case or any sort of litigation where there's numbers involved, his firm would get hired to come up with the financial model to support that. So kind of an interesting sounding career. And that would be, the path to get there would also be to go ahead and get your CPA license and then look for jobs in that field. You could probably also get there majoring in finance and going on that path. I think you generally just need a bachelor's. Never hurts to get an MBA. It kind of helps with your progress. Usually when you start in that, you're probably going to start in the high five figures depending on where you're located, but a lot of potential for financial growth there, especially if you become a very well-trusted litigation accountant or finance person and you start doing a lot of testifying. That also ends up being a career that a lot of people might do, or something people might pivot to towards the end of their career, because then they can be semi-retired but occasionally take on a case, do the financial modeling, and then testify. So being an expert witness, another thing you could do with that. All right, so definitely some potential there for those of you who may want to go into valuation accounting or litigation support.